Manhattan. 2 a.m. Camera flashes exploded like fireworks across the rooftop launch party. Blake Harrison, Golden Boy CEO, pressed his lips against a complete stranger. The world stopped. Harper Wells shoved him backward, hard. Her green eyes blazed with fury. The red dress clung to her curves, auburn hair falling loose from its updo. "Have you lost your mind?" Journalists swarmed. Blake grabbed her arm, desperation cracking through his polished facade. "Please. Just pretend we're dating for 5 minutes. My ex is over there with that Wall Street guy, and I need." "You need therapy," Harper snapped. "I'll pay you $10,000. The world tilted. $10,000 would cover 3 months' rent. Student loans. The freelance journalism gigs that barely kept her alive. Blake. Blake. Reporters closed in like vultures. Harper's mind calculated fast. 15 photographers. 3 TV cameras. Half of Manhattan's elite watching this disaster unfold. 15,000, she whispered, forcing a smile for the cameras. "In writing." Blake blinked. "Deal." She turned to the reporters, arm linked through his, playing the role like she was born for it. Harper Wells, New York Tribune. "And yes, Blake and I are exploring something special." Cameras exploded. "How did you meet?" a blonde reporter shouted. Harper squeezed Blake's arm hard enough to bruise. "He spilled coffee on my laptop at Starbucks. Been trying to make it up to me ever since." "That's surprisingly good," Blake murmured. "I'm good at improv, sweetheart," she whispered back. "Now smile like you're madly in love with me. Because tomorrow morning, this is front page news." By 6 a.m., they were trending worldwide. Harper woke to 47 missed calls, 238 texts, and the sinking realization she just destroyed her journalism career for $15,000 and the taste of a stranger's lips she couldn't quite forget. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She answered. "Listen up, Golden Boy. We need to talk. Now. Your little stunt turned my life into a circus." "My stunt? You improvised that entire story. You kissed me without permission in front of the media world. Washington Square Park. 20 minutes. Bring the contract and a really good explanation." 23 minutes later, Blake found her on a bench, scrolling aggressively through her phone. Jeans and a Columbia sweatshirt. Hair in a messy ponytail. Somehow more beautiful in daylight. "You're late." Traffic was. "I don't care about traffic." She looked at him. Dark circles under her eyes. "My editor called me in because dating sources violates policy. Even fake dating. Photographers are camped outside my building. My landlord wants to raise my rent. My mother saw us on the Today Show and thinks I'm engaged." "We were on the Today Show?" She showed him the screen. Their kiss frozen in time. New York's hottest new couple. Blake pulled out folded papers. "Your contract. 15,000 for playing my girlfriend until the frenzy dies. A week, maybe 2. Harper read carefully. Surprisingly thorough for something written on cocktail napkins. "Had my lawyer draft it this morning." "That's terrifying and impressive. I prefer efficient." Harper studied him. "I have conditions. No more surprise kisses. We communicate everything." "Agreed. I get to write an exclusive about fake dating a CEO when this is over. Anonymous, but great material." Blake considered. "As long as I'm not a complete jerk." "I'll make you only a partial jerk. Final condition. We do this my way. I grew up in Queens. I know media circuses. Your trust fund approach clearly doesn't work." "I didn't have a trust fund," Blake protested. I built my company from nothing. Sure, golden boy. Despite himself, Blake smiled. She cut through his defenses like no one else could. So, we have a deal? Harper shook his hand firmly. Deal. But next time you need a fake girlfriend, try asking before you kiss. It's called consent. As they walked away in opposite directions, neither noticed the photographer with the telephoto lens capturing everything from behind a hot dog cart. By evening, new headlines screamed, "Lovers quarrel or business meeting?" Blake and Harper's secret park rendezvous. The game had just begun. 3 days later, Harper stood in Blake's closet, which was roughly the size of her entire apartment. Navy or charcoal? She held up 2 ties. Does it matter? Blake buttoned his crisp white shirt. It's just lunch. Blake Harrison. She turned. We're walking into Le Bernardin where there will be 6 photographers, 3 gossip columnists, and your ex's best friend 2 tables away. Everything matters. He paused. How do you know Sarah will be there? Called the restaurant. Pretended to be your assistant. Got the reservation list. Also, Vanessa posted about lunch at the most romantic restaurant in NYC today. Basic detective work. Remind me never to underestimate you. Too late. Harper had transformed. Gone were thrift store finds, replaced by a sleek black dress. Blake's stylist had delivered shoes that cost more than her monthly groceries. Hair professionally blown out. Makeup flawless. But her eyes suggested she was playing dress-up rather than being herself. You look beautiful, Blake said quietly, his facade cracking. I look expensive. There's a difference. The Tesla ride downtown was tense. Harper coached him while scrolling through her phone. Remember, we met at Starbucks on 42nd. You spilled coffee on my laptop, bought me a new one. We talked about your company's environmental initiatives. I did my research, by the way. Impressive stuff. Then you asked me to dinner. Why environmental initiatives? Because I cover sustainability. Explains why I'm smart enough for your conversations but not rich enough for designer clothes. Blake stared at her. You're terrifyingly good at this. I'm a journalist. Lying is called research. Le Bernardin was exactly as she predicted. Cameras flashed the moment they stepped out. Blake took her hand, and Harper hated how natural it felt. Inside, Vanessa sat 2 tables away. Blonde. Perfect. Everything Harper wasn't. She's stunning, Harper whispered. She's also heartless, Blake muttered. Cheated on me with my business partner. Took half my company's secrets. Nearly destroyed everything I built. Harper squeezed his hand. Real sympathy flooding through her. Then let's give her a show. Lunch was performance art. Harper laughed at his jokes. Blake touched her arm. They shared dessert. Fed each other bites. The kind of intimacy that made people look away. Vanessa watched with barely concealed rage. Walking out, Blake pulled Harper close. Thank you, he whispered against her hair. For what? For making me forget she exists. Something shifted. The air between them charged with electricity that wasn't entirely fake. That night, Harper sat in her tiny apartment, typing furiously. Day 3, the lines are blurring. He looks at me like I'm real. I look at him like he's more than a paycheck. This is dangerous. Her phone buzzed. Blake. Can't sleep. Keep thinking about today. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard. Me too. This wasn't supposed to feel real, Harper. I know. We should stop. Before someone gets hurt. Harper stared at the screen. The smart thing was to agree. Take the money. Walk away. Instead, she typed, "One more week. Let's finish what we started." The dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Okay. One more week. Harper threw her phone across the room. She was falling for a man she was paid to love. The next morning, Blake's assistant called. "Mr. Harrison requests your presence at his office." Immediately. Harper arrived to chaos. Blake paced his corner office, jaw clenched, fury radiating off him in waves. What happened? He threw a tablet at her. The screen showed an article. Her article. Inside the mind of a fake girlfriend, confessions of a paid romance. Anonymous. Published that morning. Every private detail. Every conversation. Every moment. But Harper hadn't written it. "I can explain. You sold me out." Blake's voice was ice. "Was any of it real? Or was I just research for your next big story?" "Blake, I didn't write that. Your byline. Your style. Your publication. Someone hacked my drafts. I swear. Get out. Blake, please. Get out." Harper stumbled backward, tears blurring her vision. In the elevator, she pulled out her phone. Checked her laptop remotely. Her drafts were gone. Replaced with the published article. Someone had set her up. And she knew exactly who. Harper burst into the New York Tribune offices, shoving past security. Found Marcus Chin, her editor, smirking behind his desk. "You did this." Marcus leaned back. "Did what? Publish a brilliant piece of journalism? You stole my drafts. Changed them. Ruined my contract. You were sleeping with a source, Harper. Even fake sleeping. Against policy. I did you a favor. Now you have a viral article and Blake Harrison gets what he deserves." "Why?" Marcus's smile turned cruel. "Because 5 years ago, Blake's company bought my startup. Destroyed it. Cost me everything. Consider this payback." Harper's world tilted. She wasn't just caught in a fake relationship. She was a pawn in someone else's revenge. Harper recorded everything. Marcus's confession. His laughter. His admission of revenge. Then she walked straight into Blake's office building, past security who tried to stop her, and kicked open his door. Blake looked up, eyes cold. "I told you. Shut up and listen." She threw her phone on his desk. "Press play." Marcus's voice filled the room. Every word. Every confession. Blake's expression shifted from fury to shock to something darker. "He used me," Harper whispered. "Used us. I didn't betray you. But I understand if you don't believe me." Blake stood slowly. Walked to the window. Manhattan stretched below them, glittering and ruthless. 5 years ago, I bought Chen's startup. It was failing. Hemorrhaging money. I offered him a position in my company. He refused. Wanted to stay captain of a sinking ship. Blake's voice was hollow. It went under 3 months later. He blamed me. He's been planning this. And we walked right into it. Harper moved closer. "Blake, I'm sorry. I should have been more careful with my files. I should have." He turned. Their faces inches apart. "You have nothing to apologize for. Then why does it feel like I destroyed everything?" Blake's hand cupped her face. Gentle. Real. "Because for the first time in 5 years, I let someone in. And it terrified me. Blake. I don't want this to be fake anymore, Harper." The kiss was nothing like the first. No cameras. No audience. Just two broken people finding something real in the wreckage. Harper pulled back, breathless. This is a terrible idea. The worst, Blake agreed. We're from different worlds. Completely incompatible. This will end badly. Probably. Harper kissed him again. Harder. Desperate. Then let's make it worth it. They spent the night planning. Not revenge. Something better. The next morning, Harper published a new article. Her real article. The man behind the headlines, Blake Harrison's untold story. She wrote about the boy from nothing who built an empire. The CEO who donated millions anonymously. The man who bought failing startups not to destroy them but to save jobs. She wrote the truth. By noon, Marcus was fired. His revenge exposed. His career in ruins. But Vanessa wasn't done. Harper's phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Harper Wells? A woman's voice. Crisp. Professional. This is Sarah Mitchell, Blake's attorney. We need to meet. Now. There's something about Blake you need to know. Something he's been hiding. What are you talking about? The contract you signed? It wasn't just about fake dating. Blake's company is being investigated for fraud. He needed a public relationship to appear stable. You weren't his girlfriend. You were his alibi. Harper's blood turned cold. That's not true. Meet me at Bryant Park in 1 hour. I have documents. Proof. Unless you'd rather stay blind to who Blake Harrison really is. The line went dead. Harper sat frozen. Everything in her screamed this was a trap. Another manipulation. But doubt crept in like poison. What if Blake had used her all along? What if the kiss, the confession, everything was just another performance? She grabbed her jacket and headed for the door. Blake called as she stepped into the elevator. Harper, where are you going? I have a meeting. With who? She hesitated. A source. Harper. I'll call you later. She hung up before he could respond. Bryant Park was crowded. Harper found Sarah Mitchell by the fountain. Blonde. Expensive suit. Briefcase. Thank you for coming. Sarah handed her a folder. I know this is difficult. Harper opened it. Documents. Emails. Financial records. All pointing to Blake's company hiding assets. Falsifying reports. Using Harper's public relationship to appear legitimate during an SEC investigation. This can't be real. I'm sorry. I know you care about him. But Blake Harrison is not who he says he is. He's a con artist in a tailored suit. And you're his latest victim. Harper's hands shook. Why are you telling me this? Sarah's expression softened. Because I was you once. 5 years ago. Blake dated me during his first investigation. Made me believe I was special. Then disappeared the moment he didn't need me anymore. You're lying. Am I? Sarah pulled out a photo. Her and Blake. Younger. Smiling. Ask yourself, Harper. How does a man build a billion-dollar empire in 5 years? How does he always know exactly what to say? How does he make you feel like you're the only person in the world? Harper's phone buzzed. Blake calling again. Don't answer it, Sarah urged. Not until you decide who you believe. Harper stared at the documents. At the photo. At the life she thought she understood crumbling around her. Then she answered the phone. Blake. We need to talk. Right now. Harper, whatever someone told you. Is it true? Are you under investigation? Silence. Blake, answer me. Is any of this real? More silence. Harper's heart shattered. That's what I thought. She hung up. Turned to Sarah. What do I do? Sarah smiled. It wasn't kind. You testify against him. Help me take Blake Harrison down. And finally get justice for all the people he's destroyed. Behind them, hidden in the crowd, Blake stood frozen. He'd followed Harper. Heard everything. And realized too late that Vanessa's revenge was more twisted than he ever imagined. Because Sarah Mitchell wasn't his attorney. She was Vanessa's sister. And Harper was about to make the biggest mistake of her life. Blake stepped forward from the crowd. Harper, don't. She spun around. The look in her eyes broke him. Stay away from me. She's lying. Sarah Mitchell isn't my attorney. She's Vanessa's sister. This whole thing is a setup. Sarah's smile never wavered. Of course he'd say that. It's what con artists do. They make you doubt reality. Harper looked between them. Prove it. Prove she's lying. Blake pulled out his phone. My real attorney is James Chen. Different Chen. No relation to Marcus. He's been handling my company's expansion, not any investigation, because there is no investigation. Anyone can fake a contact, Sarah said smoothly. Then call him. Blake held out his phone. Right now. Ask him anything. Harper's hands trembled. She took the phone. James Chen answered on the second ring. Blake, I'm in a meeting. This isn't Blake. This is Harper Wells. I need you to tell me the truth. Is Blake under investigation? Silence. Then, who told you that? Answer the question. No. Blake's company is clean. We're actually being audited for a major acquisition, but that's standard procedure. Why? Harper's stomach dropped. Someone showed me documents. They're fake. We've been dealing with corporate espionage for months. Someone's been creating false documents to tank our stock. We think it's Vanessa, Harper whispered. How did you know? Harper hung up. Looked at Sarah. You almost had me. Sarah's smile turned vicious. I still do. Because even if the documents are fake, you'll always wonder. Every time Blake's late. Every unexplained meeting. Every secret phone call. You'll remember this moment and ask yourself, what if? Get away from her. Blake moved between them. Or what? Sarah laughed. You'll sue me? Go ahead. By the time lawyers finish, your reputation will be destroyed. Harper's career will be over. And Vanessa will finally get what she wants. You're suffering. Harper stepped forward. Why? What did Blake do to deserve this? He existed. Sarah's mask cracked. He built everything Vanessa wanted. Success. Power. Respect. She loved him, and he chose his company over her. So she chose revenge. I didn't choose my company, Blake said quietly. I chose honesty. Vanessa was stealing from clients. Using company resources for personal gain. I gave her a choice. Come clean or leave. She chose to burn everything down instead. Sarah faltered. You're lying. Am I? Blake pulled out his phone again. Showed them emails. Vanessa's admissions. Her threats. I protected her. Gave her a severance package. Let her keep her reputation. And she's spent 5 years trying to destroy me. Harper's mind raced. Marcus. The article. You. This whole thing was coordinated. By the woman who can't accept that actions have consequences, Blake finished. Sarah backed away. This isn't over. Yes, Harper said firmly. It is. Because unlike you, I choose truth over revenge. Sarah fled into the crowd. Harper turned to Blake. Tears streaming down her face. I'm sorry. I should have trusted you. You had every reason not to. Blake wiped her tears with his thumb. Harper, there's something I need to tell you. Something real. What? The contract. The $15,000. I never paid you. Harper blinked. What? I wrote the check the first night. Never sent it. Because somewhere between the fake smiles and scripted conversations, I realized I didn't want to pay you to be with me. I wanted you to choose it. Blake. I'm in love with you, Harper. Real love. The kind that terrifies me. The kind I thought I'd never feel again. Harper's heart hammered. You manipulative, impossible, infuriating. She kissed him. Deep. Desperate. Real. I love you too, she whispered against his lips. Even though you're terrible at communication and have a martyr complex and attract psychotic ex-girlfriends. Blake laughed. Actually laughed. We're a disaster. The worst. Think we can make it work? Harper smiled. I think we already are. They walked through Bryant Park hand in hand. No cameras. No audience. Just two people who found something real in the fakest of circumstances. Harper's phone buzzed. Her editor. The real one, after Marcus's firing. Harper Wells. Harper, I need you in the office. Now. There's been a development. What kind of development? Vanessa Chen was just arrested for corporate espionage, fraud, and harassment. She's been running a revenge scheme for 5 years. Multiple victims. Blake Harrison is pressing charges. And the DA wants your testimony. Harper stopped walking. When? Tomorrow morning. This is going to be the biggest case of the year. And you're right in the middle of it. Harper looked at Blake. We're testifying? He nodded. Together. That night, in Blake's penthouse, they prepared. Went through evidence. Statements. Timelines. At midnight, Harper found Blake on the balcony. Manhattan glittered below them, a city of dreams and nightmares. Having second thoughts, she asked. About testifying? No. About dragging you into this? Every second. Harper wrapped her arms around him from behind. I'm already in this. By choice. She'll come after you. Vanessa doesn't lose gracefully. Then we'll face her together. Blake turned. Kissed her forehead. I don't deserve you. Lucky for you, I have terrible taste in men. They stood there, holding each other, as the city hummed below. Neither of them saw the figure watching from the building across the street. Vanessa, out on bail, smiled. They thought they'd won. But the real game was just beginning. And this time, someone wouldn't walk away. The courthouse steps were chaos. Reporters. Cameras. Questions shouted like weapons. Harper held Blake's hand tighter. Ready? He whispered. No. You? Not even a little. They walked forward together. Inside, the DA briefed them. Vanessa's lawyer is going to tear you both apart. Your relationship. Your credibility. Everything. Let them try, Harper said. The courtroom was packed. Vanessa sat at the defense table, perfectly composed. When Harper entered, she smiled. It wasn't a kind smile. Harper took the stand first. Vanessa's lawyer circled like a shark. Miss Wells, isn't it true you were paid to date Mr. Harrison? Initially, yes. So you're a woman who accepts money for romantic companionship. Some might call that objection. The DA shot up. Withdrawn. The lawyer smiled. Tell me, Miss Wells. When did the fake relationship become real? Before or after you realized Mr. Harrison was worth billions? Harper's jaw clenched. After I realized he was worth loving. Money had nothing to do with it. Convenient. True. The questioning continued. Hours of attacks. Insinuations. Attempts to paint her as a gold digger. A liar. A woman who couldn't be trusted. Harper held firm. When Blake took the stand, Vanessa's lawyer changed tactics. Mr. Harrison, you claim my client stole from your company. Yet you gave her a generous severance package. Doesn't that seem contradictory? I gave her a chance to leave with dignity. Or you paid her off to hide your own crimes. I have no crimes to hide. Really? Then explain how you built a billion-dollar empire in 5 years. Most startups fail. Yet yours succeeded beyond reason. Blake leaned forward. Hard work. Innovation. And surrounding myself with people I trust. Unlike your client, who surrounded herself with enablers and yes-men. Vanessa's composure cracked. During recess, Harper found Blake in the hallway. They're destroying us. Let them. Blake pulled her close. The truth will come out. What if it doesn't? What if she wins? Then we start over. Together. Harper kissed him. Soft. Gentle. I love you. I love you too. No matter what happens in there. The trial continued for 3 more days. Testimonies. Evidence. Character witnesses. On the final day, Vanessa took the stand. She was brilliant. Poised. Convincing. She painted herself as the victim. Blake as the monster. Harper as the naive girl caught in his web. The jury looked uncertain. Then the DA pulled out the final piece of evidence. Miss Chen, can you explain these emails? Projected on the screen, Vanessa's messages to Marcus. To Sarah. Detailed plans. Revenge schemes. Admissions of creating false documents. Vanessa's face went white. Those are fabricated. They were recovered from your personal server. Authenticated by 3 independent cybersecurity firms. The courtroom erupted. Vanessa's lawyer called for a recess. The DA objected. The judge banged his gavel. In the chaos, Vanessa stood. Walked toward Harper and Blake. Security moved to stop her. Wait, Harper said. Vanessa stopped 3 feet away. You think you won? We didn't want to win, Blake said quietly. We wanted justice. Justice. Vanessa laughed bitterly. I loved you. Gave you everything. And you threw me away like garbage. I gave you a choice. Honesty or nothing. You chose revenge instead. Tears streamed down Vanessa's face. Real tears. I chose to make you feel what I felt. Abandoned. Betrayed. Worthless. Harper stepped forward. I understand that pain. I've felt it. But destroying others doesn't heal you. It just spreads the wound. You don't know anything about me. I know you're brilliant. Capable. Someone who could have built her own empire instead of trying to tear down his. I know you wasted 5 years on hate when you could have spent them on healing. Vanessa's mask shattered. She collapsed into sobs. Security finally moved in. Led her away. The jury deliberated for 6 hours. Guilty on all counts. Outside the courthouse, Harper and Blake faced the cameras one final time. What's next for you both? A reporter shouted. Blake looked at Harper. Starting over. The right way. Will you stay together? Harper smiled. We didn't survive all this to walk away now. Any advice for couples facing adversity? Blake pulled Harper close. Choose truth over comfort. Trust over fear. And love over everything else. 3 months later, Harper stood in her new apartment. Not tiny. Not a penthouse. Something in between. Something she could afford with her new position as senior editor. Blake had refused to let her use any of his money. She'd refused to let him refuse. They compromised. She paid rent. He bought groceries. They split everything else. It wasn't perfect. They fought about money. About work. About whose turn it was to do dishes. But every night, they chose each other. Harper's article about the trial won a journalism award. Blake's company stock reached record highs. Vanessa served 2 years, then entered therapy and started a nonprofit helping women rebuild after betrayal. Some wounds heal. Others scar. But scars are just proof you survived. On a rooftop in Manhattan, 1 year after that first kiss, Blake knelt down. Harper Wells. You've been paid to love me. Forced to trust me. Pushed to forgive me. Now I'm asking you to choose me. Not for money. Not for show. Just for us. Harper's eyes filled with tears. You're doing this at a launch party? Really? Full circle seemed appropriate. She laughed through her tears. You're impossible. Is that a yes? It's a yes. He slipped the ring on her finger. Cameras flashed. But this time, neither of them cared. They were real. They were free. They were home. Years later, Harper would write their story. The true version. Not for clicks or fame, but for every person who ever believed love had to be perfect to be real. It didn't. It just had to be chosen. Every single day. The end.